Hello everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel, Art Classes My Way. This is going to be a little bit less artsy and a little bit more about the business side of things, and so I apologize that this might bore a lot of you. I will also apologize for any misspellings that you see. I'm sure there are many of them. I got this idea on the whim, and that I thought it would make a great video, and my husband's already gone off to work, and strike while the iron's hot. Creative people don't like to wait, and I'm most definitely one of them when I got an idea. And I am also severely dyslexic. Trust me, if you see something that's misspelled and it is driving you up the wall, believe me, it does not compare remotely to what I feel with dyslexia. On the other hand, I will be explaining everything, so no worries about all this. But most of the time, I am so grateful to people for telling me what I've misspelled. Now, in this particular instance, it's not going to help me out because I've already made the video and I'm not going to make it again. And it's more about the discussion rather than my spelling. So if you don't like misspelled things, just click away now. Now, I started this list because I have finally gone to some of my first shows, art shows, for watercolors and my jewelry as well. And I want to give you guys some tips on actually going to these shows because I have learned so much. And obviously, I am back now, and although I do have quite a few shows yet to do, it's just not nearly as bad as almost every 3 days having a show, or having a show that lasts from Friday, Saturday, and Sunday onwards. So right now, everything's slowed down a little bit, so I can make you guys a video and kind of show you what I've learned, so that way you can be prepared when you try to do this and go out and go to different art shows. So what I have learned is, one, other people who have been going to shows longer, and the ones that aren't trying to be guarded and, you know, like, oh yeah, I did great today, and oh, everything's just hunky-dory, when you know that 3 other booths didn't sell anything, or you can see them from your booth and you see that they've not sold squat the entire day. Those people aren't helpful, but they're also few and far between. I have found that so many people at these things and that do these art shows regularly are so amazing. They are so helpful. They are awesome. Just about everyone I go to, there's somebody offering advice, or they're telling me about a show I couldn't find online, and they're giving me that person's information to try to be able to get into that show. I met this one guy in Attica. His name's Jerry. He is the coolest dude. He is so awesome. He told me about a couple of shows, and he saw that I wasn't selling very well, and I think he felt bad for me. So once he made his first 100, he went and got me a sandwich to celebrate his first 100, and he's super sweet guy. And also the best barbecue sandwich I've had in years. That thing was delicious. And apparently it's from a little restaurant that's actually there in Attica. It's the man's name that starts with an R. I really can't tell you because I wasn't the one there. He just brought it over to me. And it wasn't like a creepy vibe, you know, like creepy old man kind of vibe. He really wasn't that old. But he was just a super cool guy. And then I went to the Strawberry Festival in Crawfordsville, and I was beside a lady who made dog treats, and I think that's why they put us together, Naughty Dog Studios, and they might have thought they were getting like things together. Couldn't be more the opposite. She was an awesome, amazing lady. Whenever we didn't have customers, we kept each other entertained. And there were 2 ladies that are in a booth together. They had double booths there that were also selling jewelry. And they were so insanely helpful for me, especially because they're selling jewelry. They're giving me tips. And it just felt like they were being very honest and very, you know, just wanting to help. And according to them, that's the way, once you start getting going with all this, it's pretty much like a family. And if they start seeing that you don't show up to certain shows anymore, they start to worry about you, and they try to find out how to get a hold of you and make sure you're okay. There was a lady who, it was her first time back in a while, and she found out she had Crohn's disease, and she's doing a whole lot better now. I don't know who she is, but she's doing a lot better now, and everybody was so happy that she was back. You know, it was just cool. It was like a little club. And even though there's 2 people there selling jewelry, nobody there was selling wire weaving like what I do. So maybe that's what made them feel a little bit more comfortable giving me some secrets, because we don't cross over that way. 2 completely different styles of jewelry making, but they were just so amazing. Everybody there was so amazing, and they all gave me some of these amazing tips. And also what I found out, you know, just through being there and doing stuff. Oh, I need this, I need this, I need this now. So I'm going to share that advice with all of you guys, because the art community, I don't consider myself a crafter. I consider myself an artist. I almost view crafter as a negative term. For as long as I've been painting, and as long as, well, I haven't been doing jewelry making nearly as long as I've been painting, granted. But I don't, a crafter feels more like the term for the hobbyist. And that's fine. But when, people walk up to me, oh, you do have such lovely crafts. And it's like, excuse me, you do realize this is a real piece of turquoise right here. This cost me $100 just to buy this stone. Are you seriously calling me a crafter? I don't think so. Kind of gets me a little rattled. Although craftsmen, that's something completely different as well, I feel. I think that's the artistic form for your less traditional, quote unquote, arts, like shoemaking. You can definitely say that there is a craft for that. Furniture making, though, that what I would consider craftsmen, especially some of that, especially anything from the Art Nouveau period. Oh my God, Art Nouveau. And your ceramics. I don't know if I'd consider ceramics a craftsman or a art. It's definitely an art, but one could also say it's a craftsman style. I don't know, but I view both those terms as positives as opposed to negative, like craft. Crafts. It sounds like popsicles. Oh, you did this with your kid? Oh, first time you ever did it. That's so funny. Paper mache, which there's some really cool, all that stuff can be taken to the next level. But when it's taken to the next level, that's when you're an artist and a craftsman, not crafts. Okay, I'm on a tangent. I gotta stop. I don't even know where I was going to go with all that. I don't know. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm just so excited. Pretty energized from getting to go to all these things and just meeting the super nice people. I've shown horses before. I tell you what, those people are awful people. My dad used to say that there's only one person that's a bigger liar than coon hunters, people who hunt raccoons, and lawyers, and that's horse people. And if you are a part of the horse community, you know what I'm talking about. So here are some of the tips that I have found that you will need for going to your first shows. Highly recommended. Bring a pen and a marker and a pencil. Along with that, actually tags. You want tags as well. Extra tags are always important because sometimes people will just buy your product, your jewelry, your painting, what have you, and then they'll just up and walk away with it, and maybe the tag was possibly reusable. Also, I found out not all tags are created equal. I am not a paper person. I am not a paper crafter, and I don't know nothing about paper so much, unless it's like drawing paper. That's the end of my knowledge. I found out the tags are not all created equal. Some tags a marker works best, some tags it is a pen, and some tags only a pencil will do. And that kind of sucks. So definitely having all three of these, just in case, extra tags is a must. Next thing is a pad of paper. You will want a pad of paper for a couple of things. One, to keep records while you're at the show, things that are going through your mind, because there are going to be times, even while I was sitting there making the jewelry while I was selling, in the hopes that, it'll attract people and get their attention. The first day, I really, really wished, and I went home, I got this thing from my husband, because he used to be a math teacher. He has a ton of scrap paper, so it's not fancy paper or anything. So that way I can make lists. What do I need to bring for the next time? What do I need to, oh yeah, I forgot about this expense for my show and for my taxes. I got to write that down on my normal sheet of paper, and so on and so on. So a pad of paper is awesome for the things that go through your head while you're stuck there, not able to do anything. It's also great, too, for emails. Now, if people want to give you their email so that way they can keep up to date with the new stuff you've made, or even if somebody shows up and they say, hey, I want you to paint this, or I want you to make this piece of jewelry, but I want you to do it in this color, or I want this subject matter. I love your work. I just want it just a little different. You will want paper. One, you're going to want to go ahead and get the money up front. That's first thing. The next thing is you're going to want to write down their name, their phone number, 2 phone numbers, either a home phone or a cell phone, if possible. That is an absolute must when you are getting commissioned to do something. And you are also going to want their address. If it's something you're going to mail to them, don't forget to charge mailing. You may not know what it is up front, but normally what I tell people is, okay, I don't know what they're going to charge me for this. I've had an item similar shipped to another place, so I'm going to charge you for that same amount. And if there's extra, I will send the extra with the item. And normally if it's something where, like I ended up not getting quite enough, if it's under $20, I'll eat it. It's way better. If somebody has commissioned you to do something, they're going to tell their friends, they're going to tell their family, they're going to tell absolutely everybody under the sun, and they're going to show off whatever it is for you. So it's always great to make those people happy. But if it ends up being over that, then I might give them a call and say, hey, shipping's going to be a little bit more than I thought. Is it all right to charge this extra? Or can I charge you this extra? A lot of them are perfectly fine with it. They understand you're out on the show. You're in a field full of nothing. You're lucky to get cell phone reception. They understand you didn't know how much it would cost to ship to them, you know? There are a lot of bad people out there and a lot of mean, evil people, but not everybody is, especially people who are really interested in the arts. So a pad of paper is an absolute must. Now, for the jewelry people out there, having a mirror. I didn't think it was a big deal. I don't like looking at myself in the mirror. I don't really see, like, if it's a piece of jewelry I like, I'll just buy it. I don't care what it looks like on. Give two shits about that. I just like it. I'm going to wear it. Sorry for the language. But there are people out there who want to put the jewelry on and they want to see what it looks like before they buy it. So having some sort of mirror around would not be a bad idea whatsoever. You can also wrap it up in one of our other things down here, tablecloth. I'll tell you what that's originally for, but you can wrap your mirror up in your tablecloth to keep it safe when you're, moving around and so on. You're going to want a nice table, and what I recommend, what I got online, is a folding table. It's all made out of plastic, and the legs are really lightweight metal. I feel it's plenty sturdy, but it's for one person to do all this because my husband, he can't come with me to all of them, and very rarely is there ever a show on Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. Those are the days he has off. Well, I got to do all this and set up all by myself. And there might be a great deal of you too, and many of you out there who are going to have to set up all by yourself. So having a folding table is great. It takes up a lot less room in your vehicle, and a lightweight one is definitely a plus. My dad has these god-awful tables where the legs just fold up, but the table doesn't fold in the middle to look like a briefcase. Mine does. His don't. I've lived on a farm all my life, and I've worked with horses all my life. I can't pick those things up. Well, I can, but it takes a lot of effort. And plus, you add to that, going from the parking lot to the spot, to your booth space, or going from where you parked your car up a hill into the park where this event is going on, it becomes a humongous deal fast. So having a nice lightweight table, totally awesome. And if you manage to find one, just out and about somewhere, going to yard sales and what have you, snag it. Doesn't matter what it looks like, snag it, because that's where your nice tablecloth comes in. I ended up getting a tablecloth that is fitted to the table that I got. It's from a different place, but it's fitted to the table I have, so it has that nice, drape down the front of my table effect, kind of table, and then it just, little ghost. And here we are. So it just looks like so here, although it's a lot more even than that. There we are. And this, it was really nice. I liked it the first couple of times I used it, but then I ended up having to go to Joann Fabrics and just getting a piece of black cloth that was super simple, got a couple yards of it cut, and it only comes down to, maybe about here, and then, kind of the fold here, because it's just straight. I've not done any cutting on it or anything, just boop, 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 like so, just lay it over the top. Now, I use this one, the short one from Joann Fabrics. I use that on windy days. Because I tell you what, there is nothing that sucks more than you have all your jewelry on your display, all nice and neat, and you got your necklace things here, and so on, and you're showing off your jewelry. Then a gust of wind comes up and whoosh, all comes off. Now, at least with this, and the biggest problem is because this is sewn, for the long one, it's sewn down all the sides. Although there is Velcro on one side, it doesn't unvelcro all the way up. It just catches it like a cup, and it'll end up tossing one whole end, or it'll get a hold of one end really good and then end up bubbling the top and knocking everything off. It sucks so hardcore, and you will basically be spending the entire event trying to chase everything down. It's terrible. So I recommend one of these, or having both of these cloths. Now, I like having both because when it's not windy, I put all my totes under here. And it's all nice and neat. It's out of the way. People don't see it. And that's where all my displays go in, and my pad of paper, and I hide it all underneath there. And when I do have the short one, I try to condense everything down to where it's in one tote, and I try to put it off to the side where people can't see it, but I'm more likely to trip over it. I like being able to hide my tote. So there's a couple of things to think about. Believe me, wind is a humongous factor when you're doing outdoor things. You would think it would be more like the weather. No. The wind is your big deal. So from there, like I said, tables can be pretty heavy. I saw a lot of people walking around with wagons. And basically they stole their little kids, like, you know, like the Crayola wagons that little kids have. They basically stole their kids' wagon for the event, and then they give it back afterwards. It is an amazing idea, because most things I've seen on wheels, I mean, yeah, you can put all your jewelry in it and stuff like that. That's great. The suitcases and things like that. Most of the things I've seen aren't big enough to carry your tablecloth, your table, the mirror, the boxes that you have with all your display stuff. You can just make one trip, maybe two trips, one trip to bring everything you need out there, get it all ready and displayed, go back to your vehicle, and then all you have to do is just pick up your jewelry, or your jewelry tote. I have a small tote that all my jewelry's in. And it's really great. It makes things a lot easier. Now, if there's hills involved, like the Attica show I went to, it's not really that helpful, but my car wasn't parked that far away either. Or my truck wasn't parked that far away. So it ended up just working out fine. Plus, there are a lot of people at the shows, women who bring their husbands along. They go, hey, go help her out. She's my neighbor. We got to be friends. So go help her unload her stuff. You know, and all of a sudden you get enlisted help. It's kind of awesome. So from there, we got baskets. I have a lot of my small paintings in a basket that people can go through and flip through all my little paintings off to the side here, along with my jewelry. And it saves you from having one of those great big V-shaped displays to put your jewelry in, like so. And then you have, you know, all your paintings in there. And then people try to flip through that. And it's just one more humongous thing to carry around. If you don't have huge paintings to take around, you're just starting, don't worry about this so much. Get the small paintings. If they're interested in your stuff, they take your business card. Hey, go to my Facebook page, Naughty Dog Jewelry. I have my larger paintings there available as well, instead of just all these really small ones. Or you can put your prints in this too. And if they're interested in the bigger one, hey, go to my Facebook page. It's awesome. And then you don't have to worry. They don't have to worry about carrying this humongous thing around, and you don't have to worry about carrying. Push. Sorry about that. Must be the FedEx guy. You don't have to worry about carrying around glass. Most of my stuff's all done in plexi, but plexi scratches, you don't want to worry about all that stuff in the beginning when you're getting started. Now, in the future, you can always get cattle panels to go around your tent, which is, you know, in the future, if you're seeing that there is success. You can always put up cattle panels, cut those down, and that makes a great little display. Guy from Athens Arts, the gallery that I'm a part of in Crawfordsville, that's what he has with his tent. And it worked out really great for him. He's a photographer, and he put all this stuff up that way. So that worked out really, really well, and I like that idea. When I get to that point, that's what I'm doing. I just hope it's easy to do with one person. So let's see. The basket, it's a great idea, especially for your flatter display pieces. Displays. Now, that's what these guys were here. If you're going to get pre-made displays, like from someplace, you know, like Michael's, Hobby Lobby, I haven't gotten any, nor do I know if Joann's even carries jewelry displays or not. I do know Michael's does. I used to work there. I do the drawing instruction there. I would wait until these guys went on 70% off, and then I would get them. You get them for like a couple of dollars. Worked out pretty great, I thought. Now, when you're going around and you're going to all these outdoor events and you're showing off your jewelry, you got a lot of people going by and just messing with it and handling it. I tell you what, these guys don't last a single show. I have a multiple tiered display piece, kind of looks like. So, way out of proportion, obviously, but kind of looks like that I got from Michael's. 3-tier kind of bracelet thing or necklace thing, what have you. That thing, this middle one is like that can pop off completely. The back one has decided that the canister, the round part here, plus its holding stand will pop out. And I mean, I can pop them back in. They work okay for now. But, yeah, I'm already, after just 2 shows, I already had to start investing in other alternatives. Suck. Yeah, these black velvet things, even the white velvet things, they aren't so great. Now, when it comes to the necklace stand here, not so great for open shows either, because again, the wind, if you've ever seen the backs of these guys, it's like the perfect kite. Watch your jewelry fly off into the air. These guys, awful for the outdoors thing. I have one of the events I went to, and we'll see how it goes. I'm going to test out his product more. But one of the events I went to, this guy was making stands out of driftwood, and I love how my work looks on driftwood. If you've seen some of the stuff I put on Facebook or Etsy, I have a piece of driftwood that I put all my jewelry on and take pictures of it with. he's made a couple of driftwood stands, and a bunch of us jewelry people were running over there just buying his stuff. And I came up with a few ideas that I asked him to do that I'm going to finish off because of my culture. I wanted to make a dream catcher like thing to put my earrings on, you know. Very terrible trying to draw it off the top of my head. But you know, this would be like the log itself. And then you got like this basket dream catcher type thing where you can hang all my jewelry off of. And then the wind can't catch it that way. You see, it's my thoughts. Now, don't steal my ideas. Make it your own idea, by God. If you're all out there, creative people, you know, come up with your own shit. But yeah, so I'm having him make me up a few things. Either, hopefully my in-laws will go and pick it up for me? Question mark. But I'm going to test them out. And he's a really super nice guy. And if it all works out, and then I'll probably make a video just on his stuff. And then hopefully, maybe you guys might love his stuff too. He's a super sweet guy. But yeah, I'm working on getting displays that aren't wind catchable and aren't going to fall apart nearly as easily as these pieces. I mean, they're made cheaply. There's a reason why I got this for $4. This 3-tier thing. You know, it is what it is. So, all right, we got down to displays. Weights, again, because of the wind. Even when you have the shorter tablecloth that isn't fitted, the wind will still try to pick up the corners and make everything peel. If not, pick up the front, and then all your jewelry that's along the front just starts scooting it back, and it just makes for an ugly display. So yeah, get some weights. I have a bunch of geodes that I use and scatter around, and right now I have a geode that I put on the back of this thing, one on each side. And if it turns out to be a windy day, or it starts to get windy, then I just take my geodes and start stuffing them under here. And then it doesn't look like, oh, she just picked up rocks and put on her display. No, they're pretty shiny. Neat rocks. Everybody likes shiny rocks. Even boys like shiny rocks. So that's what I do to try to keep at least the corners down. Now if the bottom here flutters, no big deal. I don't care. But yeah, so weights are a great idea. And especially if you do end up getting the tint, that's a must too. Again, because of the wind. So we got down there, and a sign. Now I have a sign that I have little nylon ropes that go back behind, right about there, and then I tie it to the legs underneath my my table, which again, because of the longer cloth, you can't see all that. And I went to a little online place and had this made. My Naughty Dog Studio with my logo and everything. It's basically I went to school to be a graphic artist, so I made up my own graphic, I made up my own logo and everything else, and along with my little mascot, the Brody Bear, who has decided to bark in this video. Yeah, so I have that hanging on the front for now. Now, when I do get to the point where I have a tent, it will be hanging in the back instead. But for now, it works out just fine. You'd be surprised how many people, one, don't bring business cards. They feel like business cards are completely pointless and you're just throwing them away. Well, even if people do kind of lose them or throw them away, somebody else tends to pick them up and be interested. Don't get something that's pre-made. I mean, okay, yeah, I am going to basically say hire a graphic artist to do you a nice logo. Logos, depending on the graphic artist, especially beginners, $50. That's not a big deal. It helps them get their name out there. It gets you a nice logo that doesn't look like everybody else, or looks like everybody else. Just think for, what is it? It's a website that starts with a V. And they're a printing website, and right now I cannot think of their name to save my life. But anyway, they have pre-made themes that you can choose from. And I will always remember that one of the salons my mom worked at, because she's a hairdresser and a nail technician, one of the places that she worked at went to that website, and I'm not saying anything bad about that website. They're a great website. One of my things, 3 of my business cards got misprinted. They kind of got cut off on the bottom. I just asked them, could you please remake me 3 of these business cards? If you have to use a whole sheet, I will pay for the extra from that sheet, but could you please? They ended up reprinting me a whole 100 more. They doubled my order for me. They are super sweet people. They're awesome. And they're always trying to look to make things right. So, you know, not saying anything bad about them whatsoever. VI, oh, that's going to drive me nuts. But anyway, they have pre-made themes that you can choose from if you don't have the skill to make your own logo or don't want to hire somebody. So my mom was working at this place where they bought one of those. Well, they didn't buy it, but they used one of them. And then a couple of weeks later, another business in town opened in Greencastle that used that exact same theme from that exact same website, and it was what were they? They're like a home decor kind of a thing, which ended up, I mean, it just looks so silly. I mean, you can't get a salon and a home decor place too terribly mixed up, but the fact that, like, both of these things, it's like, haha, you went to the same website, got the same thing. That's awful, you people. This is why people don't want to pay artists, because they can go and get a pre-made theme. That artist was paid, but now they give that theme away for free. Now everybody has that theme. 800 people, you know, probably in Indiana or way more, have that exact same theme for their business, and now they've all homogenized into one glorious theme of, haha, you all went to that one website and got the same theme. Nobody remembers them. We all just remember that they all use the exact same theme. It's cheap. Well, there's nothing wrong with being cheap and trying to make your dollar stretch. At the same time, again, as artists, we should all know that things like that, trying to be noticed and trying to get out there, it may not come necessarily cheap, but you can still, you know, support other artists and actually be able to be different from everybody else. So yeah, if you go for, you know, a sign, something with your stuff on it, don't go for one of the pre-made themes. I'd almost, like, in some ways, I'd rather people just make up their own logos. Even though it looks awful, it looks terrible, at least you know that that person tried, as opposed to, oh, you're lazy, you just went and, yeah. But also keep in mind that if you pre-make your own logos, and, oh, well, at least they tried, you end up becoming the person that, at least they tried, as opposed to looking like a legit business. Have the look first, or get your look in order before actually trying to go out there so much. Now, from there, let's see, sign tags. Now, definitely very, very important. A way to charge a card. I'm using Square right now. I'm pretty happy with it. The lady I was next to at the Strawberry Festival, she was using PayPal. And she swears by it. She really likes PayPal. And I'm really enjoying Square. The only problem is, as long as we both have internet, we're good, which is going to be everybody's problem. Also, it's something to keep in mind when you go to, you know, these different events and things. Do they have internet access? So definitely something to keep in mind, but definitely have some sort of card reader, some sort of something set up. Because even though, I mean, most of us today, anybody who's at least 20, or actually even 30 and under, very few of us carry cash around on us. I don't carry cash around on me. Forget it. No. A lot of people just use their card. Even when they're going to these kinds of events, these outdoor events, they still bring their cards. I'd say about 75% of all my transactions have been by card. So, yeah, it's a must. And don't let anybody tell you differently. But on the occasion when you do have a few people, you know, that want to pay with cash, definitely have a shit ton of ones with you. Ones, fives, and tens. Because somebody will hand you a $20 or $100 bill, and then they'll be, like, angry at you because you have no way to change that much money. It's like, do you really think I'm going to have $100 in ones? When I worked as the cashier at Michael's, there was only $100 in the drawer to start with the day off with. And you know what? We'd have people walk in there with a $100 bill, and it's like, okay, well, I'll hand you all my fives and my ones, my quarters, my nickels, my dimes, and my pennies. This all equals 100. Do you really want this much change? People, if you carry around hundreds and you want to break it at an event like this, we are not banks. Nobody's a bank. Go to the bank to break it. Or just tell your bank, you don't want hundreds. Don't do it. Don't. It just makes, you know, people feel awful that, and they feel bad, but, you know, a lot of us are doing this all by ourselves, and a lot of us are women. We don't want to have that much money on us. Especially when we're walking around, like, some places, you go to an event that's indoors, you might have to walk down alleys and stuff like that where you're by yourself to get to your vehicle. You don't want to get mugged because you have a whole bunch of money on you. That's another reason why people really switching over to cards as opposed to cash anymore, I feel. Now, as far as when you do have change with you, I keep it hidden on my person. I have a money belt from when I went to Europe, Prague, in college, and it's something that just slips under your pants. You'll never know it's there. Nobody would ever know it's there, especially when you're wearing jeans and things like that. Nobody knows that you have it. And as soon as people see you going for it, I mean, oh, hey, that's a clever idea. So nobody thinks bad about you for wearing one of those thin money belts, those theft deterrent belts under your clothes. And a lot of people get it. So don't worry about that. I do recommend getting one of those. Don't use a money box, because as soon as you, like, I heard so many stories about, oh yeah, well, you know, one person distracted the vendor, and then the 2 other people got behind the vendor and then ran off with the money box. You know, money box doesn't deter anything. Even if it's a lockbox, it doesn't deter anything. Once they have it, they have all the time in the world to get it open, and without damaging the money inside. And it's really not that hard. I have picked quite a few locks in my time. My dad has accidentally locked himself out of many things on his truck. Not his truck, but on the truck. His concrete trucks. And I've had to take a couple of little shards of metal and try to unlock them. It is not difficult. All you need is the time. And once they have your money box, they have all the time they need. So keep that in mind. I recommend having change just in case, but I also recommend one of those money belts that goes underneath your pants or is underneath your shirt to keep it nice and safe. Don't put it in your bra, because then you're going to make every guy bashful, and then they're never going to look you in the eye again. Weird little men. You silly, silly boys. Oh my God. It's just boobs. It's not like you haven't seen them before. Whoop-de-doo. So, yeah, these are definitely my beginner things. And I would recommend definitely, as far as a logo for your business, get your logo before your tent. It doesn't have to be a humongous major expense. Like I said, if you find a beginning graphic design student, somebody who's just starting out, especially somebody who's in college, they need the extra money to be able to buy food. Oh my God, I think that's what we're all doing at this point. Find one of them to make you up a logo. I think that the Nike swoosh, I think they only paid $50 for that, because the girl, they were all in college still at the time. Or she basically gave it to him for free. You know, the little swoosh. And we all know how famous that is. So, you know, give people a chance. At least give other artists a chance, all right? I do recommend get your logo and get a nice sign for sure, so that way people feel like you are a legitimate business. You are trying. You are putting your best foot forward. Definitely. Now, as far as the tent goes, everybody told me, everybody was making fun of me at my first show because I had no tent and I was out in the sun. I'm Native American. I don't burn. I get darker. One of my biggest benefits. Now, my husband, when he was there for the last day, he's a little white Jew boy. He's my cracker. I love him. You should see that nose on that boy. Whew. First time he ever went to kiss me, he poked me in the eye with his nose. I love him so. I truly do. I have so many stories about him like that. So, yeah, everybody's making fun of me because of the tent. Now, I don't mind not having a tent, but you can get tents with all these different kinds of sides, like a light mesh, so you can still get sun if you like the outdoors, but it will reduce down on the amount of wind. Also, because of, like I said, the guy who, where the one person was distracting him and then the other 2 came around, you can also get tents with back pieces, solid back pieces, so that way people can't do that. Also, from where I was sitting at the end of the day, the sun was directly in people's eyes. So a lot of people I noticed weren't as interested, or they were shading their eyes trying to look at my stuff. So from a customer standpoint, yeah, that I can see definitely being important for sure. But tents are not cheap. And everybody told me, do not go for the cheap aluminum. No aluminum. Aluminum. I have an uncle that does that. He doesn't know when to stop with the ums. But no aluminum tents, no aluminum poles. Everybody told me they will not last you your first show. So from what everybody told me, do not waste your money. And this was probably about 20 different vendors over 1 month tell me, do not get an aluminum tent. No aluminum tent. I'm telling you. That's what they all told me. I mean, dead serious, like death and destruction. Like the world will fall apart if I buy an aluminum tent. Apparently there's a lot of horror stories out there, I'm telling you what. So save up the money. See how, if you're seeing some positive stuff, if you're seeing success, you know, maybe even, you know, going to one of those 3-day shows that, like the Strawberry Festival for me, it's not that far away. That's just a 30-minute drive to really see if these outdoor events are worth my time. I made enough money. Now, I ended up spending half of that money getting new displays from the one guy that I was telling you about. But I got almost enough to be able to buy one of the really nice tents off of Amazon. And once I get it and I get to use it, I will put it in my affiliate link if y'all want. And because the only things I put in that are things that I'm actually using myself and I like. So I would not want to recommend a bad product to anybody. And if you guys do use my affiliate links, and there's something wrong with the product, 1, let the people know that you bought it off of, and 2, let me know. Maybe I got lucky and I got a good one and like 90% of y'all got bad ones. I don't want to continue to recommend something that is crap. All right. So do let me know too. But so far, everything I've used on my affiliate link, I've enjoyed up to this point. My tint, once I get it ordered, I think we're going to order it next week. That's going to be something that I will add once I feel that I've tried it a lot. The tint I am going to be ordering, it looks like it already comes with all the weights you need. It also comes with multiple sides, solid sides, mesh sides, or even sides that are like, they only come up halfway like, you know, the food vendors do, and, you know, it's all solid all the way around, and like super nifty. Tint, haha. Like, yeah, pies. We'll do pies, yeah. I don't know what kind of pie that's supposed to be, but, you know. Steam. Okay, I'm going on a tangent again here. Steam. Yeah. And they also have like I said, they got mesh sides, and like for all sides. So if you wanted to completely close this sucker up, you could. Nobody's home. Go away. And some of these events you go to, that's something I wanted to mention. Some of these events you go to, they will only let you set your tent up on a particular day, and it's pretty much you can't take your tent down until it's time to leave. That's not uncommon, I found out. I was shocked by that. I thought that was weird, but that is not uncommon. So, yeah, so this tent's supposed to basically come with everything I would ever want. And some of the tents that I've seen, like at Dick's, you have the tent, and then just one side costs $50. Where the one that I planned to get, or they're wanting to try, the way they're advertising it, they had a guy standing on the whole display, you know, the skeleton underneath the tent. They had took photos of a guy standing on top of all this. So I think it should be pretty strong and pretty sturdy, pretty not aluminum, with, again, the weights and multiple sides, for 4 sides that are solid, 4 sides that are mesh, and one little half a thing. So I'm pretty excited about that. So that'll be something if you're seeing success, or even you have enough sales to just go ahead and buy it from just a couple shows. It's not a half bad idea. Just don't go cheap. You go cheap, you're going to throw away money. It's just like how I told my husband when he started working at Frito-Lay. He kept going. He used to work at Shoe Carnival, and he kept going back to Shoe Carnival, Like, how are you going through so many pairs of shoes? Where are you buying them at? And then he told me, he's like, no. We're going to Red Wings. And my dad's a concrete contractor. His shoes, at least, is steel toe boots, at least last him a year. That's normally one of his Christmas presents, because dads are so hard to buy for. You all know it. Normally one of his Christmas presents is he gets brand new boots every year from Red Wings. And normally a new wallet, too. Not from Red Wings, but just new wallet in general. My dad's rough on wallets. It's his filing cabinet. My husband's the same way. It's his filing cabinet. So now that he's got a pair of Red Wing shoes, and plus they have the limited warranty and everything else like that, there are some times when it is okay to be cheap and then it's okay to be frugal, but there are just some things in this world, spend more money, you will get more back. You'll get the quality. Shoes are one, and apparently, I have found out, tents are another. So, little tip from me to you, and from me and apparently 20 different vendors in Indiana are all telling us. So I hope that was helpful for you guys. Please like, comment, favorite, and subscribe. I do have a donation button to PayPal if you feel like donating to me for my time. I also got a couple of other little businessy type videos planned to kind of help out people who are starting off. Do keep in mind, I am also starting off myself. So I'm just wanting to help you guys as I am finding out as well. And I might even amend things in the future that I might find, oh, this is actually easier, that somebody else has told me. So, just trickling down through the grapevine. I hope you all had a wonderful day. I do hope you enjoyed this video. And hey, if you guys have tips out there, like in your state, maybe people aren't as into the mirror thing. Maybe they got something else that they do. Or, oh, yeah, like one lady said, do not use your phone because of that reverse thing. Like you can do the texting, but you can like video record yourself, whatever that's called. I don't remember. Don't hand people your phone to show them what they look like in your jewelry, because then they end up turning around and running off with your phone and your jewelry. So yeah, that was a great, wonderful tip. So yeah, tell, what state are you from and what are tips that are great for your state or country, or because I know a lot of people from Australia. I would love to hear from you guys. That'd be awesome. If you guys have tips for other people in Australia, let us know. Put it in the comment section. And as always, if you guys have any questions or you would like me to make a video about something in particular, also leave that down in the comment section. You can also contact me with your questions on Instagram or a myriad of other ways. YouTube also, you know, you can, YouTube has an email thing for me. Yeah. So, thanks everybody for watching. Ha ha ha. No, I cannot write and talk at the same time. On you. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Have a good one. Bye.